Anthony, I don't think I can do this anymore. I think this is all too much for me. I don't know if I want to get married. I can't do this.
What's wrong? Are you stressed? Where's this coming from? What's making you second guess yourself? Let's talk this through and maybe it'll make you feel better.
We shouldn't get married. It just isn't a good idea. I don't think I love you anymore. Anthony, in fact, I think that I might actually hate you. I really think we need to stop the engagement. This isn't something I can handle right now.
Are you serious? Cut me some slack, Jennifer. I'm trying to calmly talk through this with you. But you have the nerve to bring this kind of thing up in the middle of the night over text, and now you hate me all of a sudden? How am I supposed to react to hearing that you hate me out of nowhere? If this is how you really felt, why couldn't you have told me sooner? It would have been nice to have this conversation face to face too, at the very least.
What do you want me to say? I can't help that this is the way I feel. We can't change our feelings on a whim.
Then tell me why. If you really hate me so much that you want to break off this engagement, why don't you tell me what the reason is? What did I do? And where does this leave us if this is how you feel?
Maybe it's because you've always been the kind of person to be bothered by such small details like that. Why do you always have to know every little insignificant detail about why something is the way it is? Can't you just accept things for how they are?
Why are you getting all defensive about this? I'm just asking you why. People don't just come to hate someone for no reason. And how could you call this insignificant? We're talking about our engagement. I don't think anything is more relevant to this discussion than how and why you feel the way you do.
I absolutely would call this insignificant. You're always trying to create more meaning or rationale for something when there isn't any. Well then, I hope I've gotten my point across to you. I don't think there's anything left for us to say to one another. I'm determined to do things on my own. I won't be going back to your place. I've already got everything I need to take care of myself.
Why are you acting like this, Jennifer? You need to get a hold of yourself. What has gotten into you? You need to stop acting so irrational. Where do you think you're gonna go? Where are you gonna stay?
I can't tell you that. You just try to stop me and get me to come back home. I told you, I've made up my mind and I'm determined to figure things out on my own. You probably won't have a chance to see me again, so this is it. Good luck, Anthony.
Will you think about this just for a second? We can talk about this and figure something out. Hayden, I'm sorry to bother you at such a weird time, but it looks like there's gonna be a slight change in plans. What's going on, Anthony? What change? What happened? Jennifer left all of a sudden. She just texted me and said that she hates me and that she's calling off the engagement. Are you serious? She did this over text just now? She didn't call you? I'm not sure what her plan is, but I think it's highly likely she's heading over to your place. Wait, what? Right now? I know this is really short notice. Do you think you can get all of your things together and ready? Yeah, of course. I was planning on leaving first thing in the morning, so I've already got everything I need packed in my suitcases. Then, if you're able to, you should leave as soon as possible. Got it. I appreciate the heads up, Anthony.
Anthony, I've been thinking about everything. I know everything happened so suddenly, but I've decided that I'm going to give you another chance. What do you think? I'm going to give you a chance to fix things between us, but only this one chance, okay? You better not mess this up. If you can guess where I am right now, we can get back together. You want to get married, don't you? Well, I'm giving you another chance. You've got to figure out where I am. It shouldn't be too hard for you. I know you still want to be together. I'm not giving you any hints, though, so you'll have to figure it out on your own. You better not take too long to figure it out.
Is everything alright? What happened after we texted last? Are you feeling alright? I've been worried about you. Hey, sorry I didn't have a chance to get back to you. I guess I'm feeling alright. It's nice to have finally gotten all of my things together to be able to move. I have to say, I never would have thought I'd be living this kind of lifestyle while working as a freelancer. I don't think either of us saw any of this coming, but you got away from Jennifer without any problems. At least we have that to be thankful for. You're right about that. I'm really sorry for having caused so much trouble. I should be the one apologizing. You aren't the cause of any of this. Neither of us had any idea that after only having introduced the two of you one time would be enough for her to start stalking you. No one could have predicted anything like this. It's so outlandish. You shouldn't blame yourself for any of this. It couldn't be helped. I appreciate it. This whole thing has been stressful for both of us. Speaking of which, my landlord reached out to me. What did he say? Was everything fine? Yeah, there weren't any issues with moving out or anything, but about 10 minutes after I had left, they told me a young woman with a ton of luggage showed up to see me. Apparently, she was repeatedly pushing the intercom at the gate and demanding to be let in, but the security wouldn't let her. I can't believe how terrifying she can be. Was it definitely her? From the way my landlord described her from the security footage, it was without a doubt Jennifer. They had mentioned she said she was coming there to move in with me or something. But they had told her that I had moved out a while ago. It was pretty fortunate timing for me, and I think they handled the situation well. As soon as they told her I wasn't there, she stormed off angrier than ever. I can't believe she got there so quickly with all of her things. I'm glad I told you when I did. Only 10 minutes after you left is insanely close. You might have even passed her on your way up the street from the apartment complex without even knowing. Talk about a narrow escape. No kidding. When my landlord told me, I had chills. You're in the clear now, though. That's what matters. I'm really glad you're alright. I've got to head to bed, though. I have an early start tomorrow and should get some sleep. I'll hit you up a bit later, but keep me filled in if anything happens. I should too, and I'll definitely keep you filled in if anything comes up.
Hello? What gives, Anthony? Have you really still not been able to find me? It can't be that hard. I told you that this was your only chance to get back with me, didn't I? How are you supposed to fix this if you can't find me? If you were really so shocked that I hate you, prove that you want to make this work. Hurry up and find me already. If you haven't realized it by now, I'm testing how much you really love me. Isn't it obvious? Do you want to get married or not? I know how badly you want to, so come on already. This is seriously your only chance. You need to hurry up, Anthony. For crying out loud, Anthony. What is taking you so long? You are looking for me, aren't you? If you're having that much trouble, then I guess I need to give you a hint. If you absolutely can't figure it out, fine. I'll give you a hint. I hope you're happy. I am being very generous. I think you know me well enough to be able to figure this out, so I'm only giving you a small hint. Everything you've thought of so far wasn't correct, so maybe it's where you'd least expect. Don't overthink it too much. This should be easy for you. But fine, I'll make it even easier for you because you care so much. The hotel I'm staying in is downtown. It's not too far from the airport, okay? It's one that we've stayed at together before. And once you've figured it out, hurry up and don't keep me waiting any longer. You're gonna have to help me cover the costs of staying here all this time. You couldn't find me without me giving you a hint, so that's your penalty for making it easier on you.
Hey there, hope you're doing alright. Yesterday was your girlfriend's last day of work, right? Does that mean you'll be leaving by the end of the week? Hey, Anthony, I'm doing well, thanks for checking in. But yeah, that's correct. She just told me today that she's already staying at a hotel near the airport. It's a bit of a trip, but maybe just to be safe, you should wait there for her to meet you. I'm sure everything will be fine, but to save you a bit of stress, we should make sure everything goes as smoothly as possible. It gives you some peace of mind. That would be great, to be honest. It would really help me out if you could make it happen. Don't worry about it. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I'm sorry for being such a pain. I really appreciate everything you've done for me. Hey there, hope you're doing alright. Yesterday was your girlfriend's last day of work, right? Does that mean you'll be leaving by the end of the week? Hey, Anthony, I'm doing well, thanks for checking in. But yeah, that's correct. She just told me today that she's already staying at a hotel near the airport. It's a bit of a trip, but maybe just to be safe, you should wait there for her to meet you. I'm sure everything will be fine, but to save you a bit of stress, we should make sure everything goes as smoothly as possible. It gives you some peace of mind. That would be great, to be honest. It would really help me out if you could make it happen. Don't worry about it. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I'm sorry for being such a pain. I really appreciate everything you've done for me.
Anthony! I have had enough of this. You have kept me waiting so long I can't take it anymore. I don't think you're even trying to find me anymore. What are you doing? You've been leaving me on red for weeks. You haven't said anything. What's wrong with you? Why are you being like this? You haven't even given me the slightest indication that you're even trying to find me. How can you keep ignoring me like this? I deserve better than this kind of treatment. Do you think that you can just keep ignoring me? I'm not just gonna sit here and take this while you keep stringing me along. To think that my fiancé's been ignoring me for almost a month now. I can't believe it.
Excuse me? Your fiancé?
I don't have any more money to afford the hotel I've been staying in. I've been here for far too long waiting.
You don't have any money? Are you telling me you used it all on that hotel?
You do realize that I've been here almost a month, right? It isn't cheap to stay in a hotel for this long. I'm staying downtown in the Yonkers Inn. I've been here waiting all this time. And to think I was going to give you another chance. You took your chance and threw it away. So, what do you have to say for yourself? How could you keep me waiting without a single response? What is your problem? Did you even look? Did you even know where I've been?
Of course I know where you've been staying.
You're telling me you knew and you didn't come to find me.
You've been there since you broke off our engagement, haven't you? You checked in the following day and have stayed there ever since.
So you admit it. You did know. You've known this whole time.
It wasn't really that hard considering you posted a picture on your Insta. I figured it out a while ago.
Then tell me, why didn't you come find me if you've known this whole time? I can't believe you've kept me waiting and didn't say anything.
I guess the simplest way to put it is that I was buying time.
What are you talking about? You've wasted more than enough time keeping me waiting around for you.
I was trying to give as much time as I could to Hayden and his fiancée, to protect them, of course.
Huh? What are you talking about? Protecting Hayden and I? From what? Why in the world would you need to protect us?
What are you talking about? You aren't Hayden's fiancée. Where did you get that idea?
You were the one that started this whole mess. I got that idea from you. You were the one that said Hayden was planning on proposing to someone. Don't you remember? I had rightfully assumed you were talking about me. I mean, it seemed pretty obvious to me that by the conversation we were having, something was being implied.
How could you have possibly thought there was any implication being made that Hayden was going to propose to you? Why would you even think that I was trying to hint at something like that?
That was back when you'd introduced Hayden to me. It wasn't that long ago that this happened. Don't you remember? I remember the moment that you'd introduced us to one another. When Hayden and I first locked eyes, the both of us fell in love.
Well, apparently he didn't get the memo. No one did except you.
I was under the assumption that you talked with Hayden about our situation and you were telling him to propose to me. I knew without a doubt that it was proof Hayden was going to propose to me. Are you telling me I was wrong? This is how we ended up where we are now. This is all because of you. I made the decision to break off our engagement because I was confident in my future with Hayden. But now you're telling me you've gone and ruined that too? I don't know where I went wrong in this awful mess.
Jennifer, I was trying to help Hayden get away from you. I wasn't setting you up with anybody.
What do you mean?
I've had plenty of conversations with Hayden about how you've been stalking him obsessively. When he first told me about it, Hayden also mentioned around the same time that the girl he's been dating since high school brought up the possibility of her getting a job abroad.
What? He's been dating someone since high school? I thought that he was single. You made it seem like he was when you introduced us.
Really? It seemed like he was single when I told you he was getting ready to propose?
Shut up! What does this have to do with anything anyway? Why does it matter if this girl is working abroad? This isn't relevant to me and Hayden.
It matters because Hayden does freelance work. He can work anywhere he wants if he needs to. So when his girlfriend brought up the topic of her work assignment abroad, they thought it would be a great opportunity for them. Hayden will be able to move with his girlfriend and live with her, all while keeping the same job and living a much more comfortable life.
He's moving?
Jennifer, you already know he moved. We heard about you showing up at his empty apartment. I hope that you finally realize that you aren't Hayden's fiancée, nor are you his girlfriend, not even someone that he likes. I'm sure you would have found this out eventually, so I suppose I can tell you this now.
Find out what? What is it now?
Hayden's fiancée is your younger sister, Jessica.
There's no way. Hayden's engaged to Jessica? How did I not know about this?
I was just as surprised as you are, trust me. When I found out that Jessica was related to you, I couldn't believe it. But what was even more shocking is the fact that you even have a sister. You told me that you were an only child. This whole past month, I've been trying to help out Hayden and Jessica. I was fortunate to have an opportunity to talk to your grandfather.
Why did you talk to my grandfather? What did he tell you?
He said that you two are, what he so lovingly referred to you as, disparate siblings.
What is that supposed to mean?
Apparently, your parents have a favorite daughter, and it isn't Jessica. They've always spoiled you and cared for you unconditionally. Your parents really didn't do you any favors with spoiling you so much. Your parents may think highly of you, but your grandfather can see that you only keep up a facade to hide your ugly personality. He also told me that because of the hostile environment she grew up in, Jessica hasn't been back home since she left for college. Ever since then, you and your parents have pretended as though Jessica doesn't even exist. Had we still been engaged, you never would have told me that you had a younger sister, would you have? How could you just hide the existence of your family member like that?
It was her choice to take off on her own. That's what she wanted.
I may not have known everything about her, and I surely haven't known her as long as you have, but still, I can't believe that you would keep something like that a secret. The fact that you would deliberately hide the existence of a family member from someone that you plan on marrying is totally unforgivable.
But I already told you that she made the decision herself. She didn't want to be part of our family.
I don't really want to hear any excuses from you about this. At this point, I don't care to hear any of it. It doesn't matter.
I'm not giving excuses, that's the truth.
I told you it doesn't matter. Besides, everything turned out how you wanted. Just like you had said from the beginning, our engagement is over. You said yourself you hate me too. So why do you care to give excuses? It seems like you've got your priorities all over the place.
No, that isn't true. Please, hang on just a second, let me explain. If you're really angry about what I said, we can pretend like it never happened. Sometimes people say things that they don't really mean, right? Especially when they're stressed. And the whole thing about Hayden, well, it was all just a huge misunderstanding. Nothing came of it, so it's like it never happened, right? We can pretend like all of this was just a bad dream. Right? Please, Anthony? You have to believe me. I've just been stressed and confused about everything.
There are so many things I could say, so many contradictions and problems with this whole mess you've gotten yourself into. However, there is at least one thing I can say that hopefully brings together what I'm thinking.
What? What is it?
You have to be out of your mind if you think that I would marry someone that is so delusional and twisted.
Delusional? I hope you aren't talking about me.
The fact that you could be so dense to think that I would set everything that has happened aside is honestly terrifying. How could you be so totally unaware?
How could you say something like that about me?
Jennifer, let me put it simply for you. We are definitely not getting engaged. It's over. I've already canceled everything. All of our arrangements, everything that we had been pre-planning for a wedding, it's all canceled. Everyone knows that it's over.
Are you serious?
You'll have to talk to your parents about how you will repay them for all the sunken costs from the cancellations.
But Anthony, about what I said. Please, you have to believe me.
About what? That you hate me? What about it? What else needs to be said about it?
I told you we can just forget about it. What do you think? We can go back to the way things were? Doesn't that sound nice? We can forget about all these annoying little misunderstandings that cause so many problems. If we pretend like it never happened, we can get back to focusing on our life together.
I'm sorry, but we won't be going back to anything. I believe you were telling the truth when you said what you did. I don't like you either. I think I hate you, too.
I didn't mean it, though. I know you don't mean it either. You're just upset.
In all the time that I've known you, I've been fooled by the perfect disguise that you've created. I'm glad that I know what you really are now. You've also taught me an important lesson. I'm going to be more careful with who I decide to put my trust in from here on. So I suppose I can thank you for that at least.
You don't really mean that, do you? You can't hate me after everything we've been through.
I think I've said my piece. This is it for us. Sorry to cut this short, but I'd rather not waste any more of my life on you.
You can't do this to me. You have to give me another chance.
I'm not really one for giving second chances. I guess you're a lot more generous than I am in that regard.
Please don't leave me. I need you, Anthony. I can't pay for this hotel. I've been here for way longer than I should have. We can figure this out. Just give me another chance, please. You can come meet me at the hotel, right? Please, let's just talk about this. Don't make me beg anymore. I don't know what I'm going to do to afford this. You can't just leave me when I need you most. You're my fiancé. We can talk about this and make things right. Don't do this to me.
After a long and stressful month of juggling numerous tasks simultaneously, I finally had a moment to catch my breath and also get a bit of closure. Jennifer went sobbing to her parents and somehow managed to convince them to cover the costs of her lengthy hotel visit. As one would expect, staying in a hotel for a month isn't cheap. It ended up costing them over $5,000. Naturally, she hadn't given what hotel she decided to stay in much thought, and chose the first one that she could think of that would be comfortable. It also turned out to be one of the most expensive in the city. That wasn't the only cause to trouble Jennifer's parents, as they needed to account for everything that came as a result of the abrupt end to our engagement. They realized all too late how they had failed as parents to properly raise their child. Jennifer's parents left her in the hands of her strict grandfather to ensure that she would work hard to pay back all of the money they had needed to suddenly pay to fix the problems she caused. Suddenly, Jennifer found herself needing to work harder than she ever had. It seemed like there was nothing she could do to get her out of the mess she was in. Complaining day after day is the only respite she can find in her new, much busier daily life.